It's Friday the 13th. Our sister company Curveball just announced it's publishing the physical PS5 version of Welsh folklore adventure horror Maid of Sker, and pumpkin spice lattes are back. Spooky season is upon us, so for this week's top 5, here are some of the scariest video games ever. Sneaking into an abandoned insane asylum, armed only with a night vision camera, is a pretty great premise for a walk on the wild side of the terrifying and macabre. Outlast takes some of the gameplay that made Fatal Frame so effective. It stands on the shoulders of the also terrifying Amnesia: The Dark Descent, and the result is one of the most anxiety and panic-inducing games I've ever played. The lighting, the sound design, the pervasive sense of dread, all masterfully done. And its sequel might be even better. One of the most enduringly praised PS2 games of all time, Silent Hill 2 is one of the greatest examples of psychological horror ever created. The premise is fantastic. James Sunderland receives a letter from his deceased wife beckoning him to an eerie town that basically acts as a portal into his deepest and darkest subconscious fears, traumas, and twisted imaginings. Everything about Silent Hill 2 is brilliantly unsettling. The enemy designs are iconic, the soundtrack by Akira Yamaoka is peerless, and the way that the game messes with your mind is frankly unmatched. This one seems fitting, given the recent release of Alien Romulus. Alien Isolation is brilliant. Inspired by the 1979 original film, Creative Assembly crafted an absolutely phenomenal horror game that nails the sense of powerlessness and lonely peril. Sevastopol Station has a xenomorph problem, and a rogue synthetics problem for that matter too, with the alien constantly stalking you, using its advanced AI programming to react to your behaviour. The 70s sci-fi tech at your disposal only adds to the atmosphere of dread in a game where you're nearly always the hunted rather than the hunter. Another game that borrows an awful lot from Alien. I mean, if you're going to borrow from the best, but also contains a healthy dollop of event horizon too. Dead Space is pretty damn terrifying. The sequels may have turned up the action elements a little more, but the first game and its excellent remake are brilliantly, disgustingly terrifying. Jump scares abound, the necromorphs are truly grotesque entities, and Isaac Clarke, much like Ripley, is a non-soldier just trying to survive a hellish nightmare. I remember many years ago being sat in a room in Capcom's offices trying out their new demo, codenamed Kitchen, in VR. You were strapped to a chair in a dark, dank kitchen while a bunch of very creepy stuff happened around and eventually to you, and it was the heralding fanfare for a new era of horror, a return to the roots of Capcom's beloved franchise, and boy was the full game something else. Resi 7 is pant-wettingly terrifying, especially in the first half, and doubly so if played in VR. You're back in an abandoned mansion with loads of terrifying monsters and nowhere near enough bullets, with the first-person perspective bringing the nightmare that much closer. Those are our picks though. What about yours? Let us know in the comments. Pre-order Maid of Sker on PS5 over on the Game Collection, and we'll see you next time. Bye!